Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to walk you through the installation steps for Visual Studio 2017. Once you log into Blackboard, go ahead and click on Courses and then click on the link for this course, that is ENGR 121 AE, Introduction to Computer Programming with C++. Once you land on the course homepage, move to the navigation pane, which is on the left-hand side. So you're looking at the left navigation pane, and then click on syllabus in order to gain access to the instructions or information about the um, Visual Studio 2017. And as you may know, the Visual Studio is the platform or integrated development environment which we will be using to complete all of the lab activities and the um, assignments. So once you get into the syllabus page, you want to scroll down to this section which talks about the Visual Studio. There are two links here. There's the link for the download page for Visual Studio 2017, and then there is a link to download a document which contains instructions on how to go about installing Visual Studio 2017 and creating a new program. So you want to start by downloading the document first. So click on this link. Once you click on this link, you should download a document like this one right here. Once that is done, return to Blackboard and click on the link for the Visual Studio um, download page. So I'll go ahead and click on this link. In the next window, which is this one, go ahead and click on this link. A window will pop up displaying to you the latest Visual Studio version. And as you may know, the latest version is Visual Studio 2019. Now, if you already have Visual Studio 2019 installed on your laptop, that's fine. You don't need to download it. You're going to be able to complete the class activities and assignments with Visual Studio 2019. However, if this is your first time of installing Visual Studio, you want to proceed with the installation of Visual Studio 2017. So once you're on this page, you're going to have to scroll down to be able to see the older versions. Go ahead and click on 2017. Now, in some instances, when you land on this page or in the process of navigating the download page, you may be prompted to sign in or log in. Go ahead and use your campus email. So within this window, click on download page, click on the download link, and then you'll be brought to this page right here. It's loading. And once it loads, there are different options. So if you get back to the instructions, it says download Visual Studio Community 2017 using the link above, execute Visual Studio Community download file. So we're going to go back to our download page and look for the Visual Studio Community. It's this one right here. So it says Visual Studio Community. So this is what you should go for. This is what you should download. I'll click on the download link here. And once the file is downloaded, I'll go ahead and start extracting. Now, depending on the browser you're using, the file may be dumped at a different location. I'm using Chrome, and in my case, the file is dumped to the lower left corner of the screen. If it were Mozilla, it would be somewhere out there. Okay, so it's just a matter of knowing the browser which you're using. So go ahead and open this file. Click on yes. Click on continue. So what's going to happen is it's going to go through the download and installation process. and that process is still ongoing. I'm gonna pause the video and come back in a, okay. Well, I didn't have to pause. So you want to take, once you get to this page, you want to take a look at this instructions again. It says select desktop development with C++. So you go back to the download page. And again, there are many options here. This is what you should click. This one right here, desktop development with C++. So go ahead and click on this right here. And you don't need to add any more features. So once you click on the desktop development with C++ option, go ahead and click on install. And the installation process will begin. Now, depending on your download speed, this process, that's the download and installation process could take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna pause the video right here and then I'll come back once the installation is complete. And once the installation is actually completed, it's good, since we have this option, start after installation, check, the Visual Studio application will be launched. And so at this stage, the installation process is over. You're done with the Visual Studio 2017 installation. And as you can see, Visual Studio is being launched. So once once the launching process begins, you will be prompted to sign in. You don't need to sign in. Go ahead and click not now, maybe later. Click on this link right here. And Visual Studio should start soon. And then next will be the page where you're required to use the theme, to select a theme. Of course, you want to maintain your development settings as general. Go ahead and go with the default theme, and then click on Start Visual Studio. So once Visual Studio is launched or get started, this is the page in which you learn. Okay, the next part of this process is that of creating a new program. And it says Start Visual Studio. And of course, Visual Studio has been launched already. So we're simply going to move to the next step, that is step 2. Select the File tab, New, and then Project. So I'm going to go back to Visual Studio. I'll select File, New, and then click on Project. Now, when it comes to Visual Studio, your applications or your programs will be created as projects. And each time you're going to create a project, you have to create a folder for that project, because the source code for your application will be saved within the folder of the project. Once you get to this page, the next thing you want to do is so in this next window, you want to click on Empty Project. Click on Empty Project, and then next, you're required to enter a project name right here where it says name. So we'll go ahead and type in the suggested project name in the instructions: Hello World. Hello World then next here is the location, the area of folder in which your source code will be stored. Now, after every lab assignment or lab activity, you'll be required to submit the source code. And so it's important that you know exactly where your program is saved or stored. And this is where you go about doing that. And so what I'll suggest is that you create a folder in your PC for this class. So in my case, for example, I created a folder that's Summer E1, and this is a folder for this class. And so I'm going to create a project Hello World. I'm going to navigate to this folder for my project. So I'll click on Browse. So I'll click on Browse and go to Documents and move to the folder for this class right here, EGRE121, and select it. And then you want to click on Select Folder. That way, all the projects for this activity or will be saved in the EGRE in the folder I just selected, that is EGRE121. And once you're done with providing the project name, selecting the folder, go ahead and click on OK. So it's we're running through the process of creating a project. What it does is simply create a folder for this project and dumps it or places it in the area you designated. It's still creating the project. So once the process of creating the project is completed, we land on this new window. Next, on the right-hand side within the Solution Explorer, which is this right here, you want to right-click. That's for the instructions. You want to right-click the source files. That's source files. Right-click, and then click on Add, and then New Item. And within the New Item window, you want to double check and make sure that the C++ file is selected, which is this right here. Make sure that it's selected. Again, you want to make sure that this is selected, and then you enter the name. So in the name right here, take this out and type a name. Again, for example, you want to give it the name Hello World. Hello World. And then click on Add. Now we're within the design window within which you can type your code. So the next thing we're going to do for the instructions is that of entering the C++ code. So if you go down right here, so it says enter C++ code, for example. Now, as we get to learn as we proceed, this right here are simply comments. So I'm just going to copy this and paste. Comments to kind of let you know or give you an idea of the type of program, which is, I'll give you some information about the program. paste. And to ensure that the compiler understands that this is a comment, you have to use the forward slashes. Okay. So next, I'm going to go ahead and type the program syntax. Hash include IO string. Enter using space name namespace std semicolon, enter int main curly braces open, enter C out, and this is the message we want displayed. Hello world, exclamation mark, double quotation marks. And line, semicolon, return 0. Exclamation mark. So after having typed in this code right here, we're going to proceed with instructions number 11 through 19. So 11 says select project, properties, configuration properties, expand Cs, and then select preprocessor. So we're going to return to Visual Studio. So on the top menu right here, what you want to do is click on project. So once you click on project, you want to scroll down to Hello World Properties. Click on Hello World Properties, and then that takes you to the Hello World Properties project page. And within the configuration properties, you want to expand the C++ link, which is this one right here. So click on this to expand this option, and then select preprocessor, this right here, preprocessor. And once you select a preprocessor, so once you're within this and you select a preprocessor, go ahead and select the preprocessor definitions, which is this right here, and then click on the drop down arrow and go ahead and enter right here. Type underscore CRT underscore secure underscore no underscore warnings and then select OK and apply. Next, again, still within the C++ section right here, go ahead and click on pre-compiled headers and click on the pre-compiled header right here, and then the drop down arrow. Make sure not using pre-compiled headers is selected. Not using pre-compiled headers, so we want to make sure that this right is selected. So once you've verified and determined that the not using pre-compiled headers is selected, go ahead and click on apply. Next, we'll go ahead and expand the linker option. So once the linker option is selected, select the system right here, system. Make sure system is selected, and then the drop down arrow. Again, you want to click this to activate the drop down arrow. You want to make sure that console, which is the first option, of course, is selected. So once you verified and made sure that within the subsystem, under system, the console, subsystems console is selected, go ahead and click on apply. And then click on OK. After this, you want to move on to the top navigation menu right here. And you click on the Build tab. This is right here, Build. And then next you click on the Build Solution, which is this right here. Next, what you want to do is select the Debug tab, which is this right here. And then click on Start Without Debugging. Oh, we had to wait for the building to go through before getting to this. And of course, that's the output window. It says build 1 succeed, 0 failed. What that simply means is that in as far as the compilation process is concerned, it was properly compiled, no issues, no errors. And so now we can proceed with the debugging. So you go to debug and you click on start without debugging. And we should see the output message, the output from our program. This is right, hello world. And so you're done with the process of creating your very first program.